I'm Chris Scott. Welcome to my studio where I'm going to be hosting a series of craft videos, instructional videos, in cooperation with the Library Arts Center of Newport, New Hampshire. The crafting videos accompany kits that are available at the Newport Library Arts Center. If you already have your kit, that's great. We're ready to start. If you haven't got your kit, you can get one by contacting the Newport Library Arts Center in Newport, New Hampshire.
Hello and welcome. We're going to make the cornflower out of tissue paper. You're going to be able to get a kit to make this flower from the Newport Library Arts Center in Newport, New Hampshire. In that kit, you're going to get a set of instructions, tissue paper to make this project in dark blue or dark purple, light blue or light purple, black, and green for leaves. You're also going to get a roll of floral tape and some glue stick, and you're going to need to provide a pair of scissors and a pencil. All right, let's get started. The first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to take my piece of black tissue paper, which is a 6 by 6 inch square, and I'm going to cut it so that I have just a quarter of it, and I'm going to put the rest of it to the side. I'm also going to put this piece of green, which is for the leaf, aside. So now I have the 2 pieces of light blue paper and the 3 pieces of dark blue paper. I'm going to pick up those 3 pieces of dark blue paper. I had an extra one. Those 3 pieces of dark blue paper, and I'm going to fold them on the diagonal like this, on the diagonal, so that when I cut out my pieces, I'm going to wind up with 6 of them. So this makes it easy. The next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to set 1/2 of that piece of paper on my template, and I can see through. You'll be able to see through when you are doing this. I can see through to this circle underneath. I'm going to make a tracing of the larger circle, just like that. Now I'm going to take my pieces and I'm going to stack them back together. Do this on the inside, so I'm going to fold it the opposite way. There we go. I'm going to stack them up, and I'm just going to cut out these 3 circles. So you can see that I have 6 circles. I'm just going to set those to the side for right now, and I'm going to take one of the pieces of blue paper, and I'm going to fold it into quarters. I'm going to unfold it. I'm going to take one of those quarters and I'm going to lay it right over top of this template, and I'm going to make a tracing of this smaller circle. I'm going to make sure that it sits inside so that I can cut 4 of these. I'm only going to need 3. All right, I'll be right back. I'm going to use one of these circles to trace around so that I can make a circle from this black tissue paper that we cut at the very beginning. Just going to cut a circle. Doesn't have to be perfect. There we go. All right, so now I have small circles and I have larger circles. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to work with these larger circles. So in the directions, it says to stack those dark purple circles and fold them into quarters. So I'm going to fold once this way, and I'm going to fold again. So I've got a quarter. And the next thing it says to do is to cut about 3/4 of the way down. I'm making 3 cuts so that I have 4 sections. And then to make some V-shaped cuts, into the top of each one of these sections. And we go all the way around. And these cuts can be pretty random. Little V-shaped cuts, they don't have to go down very far. All the way across. Have some confetti. So I'm going to open these back up. I think they're very pretty. There they are, all 6 of them. All right, I'm going to set those aside. Now I'm going to take the lighter blue pieces. I'm going to take 2 of the lighter circles and 1 of the black. And I'm going to do the same thing again. I'm going to fold in half. And I'm going to fold in half again so that I make quarters out of this. And with this one, I'm just going to make V cuts about 3/4 of the way down, all the way across. Keep my fingers out of the way. There we go. More confetti. And then we open these up. They're also very pretty, kind of like a starburst. There they are. All right. So for the next part of our project, we're going to need a wire stem. I'm going to be back in 1 second. So in the next part of the directions, it says to fold over about 1/4 of an inch of floral wire and then take some scrap paper. I've got 1 of my little blue circles and the rest of the black. And I'm going to put that over and I'm going to kind of crumple it into a ball on the top of this. And at the same time, I'm going to kind of bend that wire down toward itself. So I'm making a little ball at the end of a piece of floral wire. Now I'm going to take this other piece of blue that I still have, and I'm going to put some glue on it. And I'm going to cover this ball. I'm going to set that right in the center. And I'll pull the pieces of paper around it just to cover it. Kind of keep it all in place. And just wrap, pushing with my fingers. There, now we have the center of our flower, what will be the center of our flower. And the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to push the smaller petals. And it doesn't matter what order, but I kind of like them blue, black, blue. I'm going to push them onto the wire stem. You can do this one at a time, or you can do them all at the same time. It doesn't matter. Push them all the way up as far as I can get them. And then I'm going to swoosh them toward the center. I swoosh them toward the center. Just like that. And now I'm going to take my larger petals and I'm going to put them onto the floral wire. And you can see that I have a sort of a natural place where I can put them right onto the floral wire. Because I folded them into quarters, there's a sort of an X marks the spot on them. You can see that. So right close to the center. There we go. And now I'm going to push all of those up. And I'm going to pull them toward the center. I'm going to scrunch them a little bit. And there we have a cornflower. Can pull off all of those leaves. Nice cornflower. Now we're going to put a sepal on. And the first thing that we're going to do, I'm going to kind of pinch. Just pinch the bottom. You kind of move your petals away from your fingers and pinch that bottom so that it becomes sort of a little cone. And what we're going to use the floral wire or floral tape to do is we're going to make a connection between the petals and the stem. We're going to keep the petals all in place. This little green piece is often referred to as a sepal, and it is the part that usually covers the bud before the flower blooms. And once the flower blooms, it sits right here at the bottom. So I'm going to cut off maybe 6 or 8 inches of floral tape. I'm going to try and hold my flower petals away from the base. I'm just going to try and cover the very, very bottom of those flower petals with the tape. I might go around a couple of times. If I feel like I need some glue, I can put some glue on the end of the floral tape. I'm going to come down onto the wire, wrap a couple of times, and then I might go right back up. Go up, come around, come back down. There we go. Now the floral tape is going to add a little bit of substance to my floral wire. Sort of thicken it up a little bit, and that's great. We're going to add another piece in a moment. Right now we're going to fluff out our flower a little bit. Very nice. All right, so we're going to make some leaves, and we're going to add floral tape to the wire. So this is a pretty simple process. Just add where we left off and start wrapping. You can wrap the entire length of the floral wire all the way down. Wrap the tape at an angle so that it continues to move down the stem. Be gentle because sometimes it likes to unwind. But if you hold it gently, and just keep wrapping, and get down to the end. And if you want, you can add a little bit of glue to the end of this floral tape. To get my glue stick opened. You can add a little bit of glue and finish that. There we go. I might have to hold it for a moment. You can see where it sort of came undone up here a little bit. All I have to do is sort of rewind it. Just kind of mush it together and rewind. There we go. No harm done. So to make a leaf, we're going to use the template that's provided on the instruction sheet. We're going to put our piece of green paper over top of it, and we're going to trace that leaf. You can see it doesn't need to be perfect. Trace that leaf. I'm going to cut the leaf out. Then, as it says in the instructions, we're going to put glue about halfway up this leaf. From both sides, try to get some good glue coverage. Then I'm going to take my cornflower, I'm going to set it on top of the leaf, and I'm going to roll one side of the leaf up and attach it to the stem, and then I'm going to roll the other side over and attach it to the stem. I can press, and then I have a leaf for my cornflower, excuse me. I can bend that. I could make a dozen of them and have them in a vase. They'd be lovely. So thank you very much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed making this project.